Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue. Like him, inside and outside. Blew his house with a blue little window and a blue Corvette. And everything is blue for him and himself and everybody around. Cause he ain't got nobody to listen.
Welcome to the Back Row Giants Show.
Back Row Show, Bandits. G-Man, Big Blue, Giants Pride, giddy up, let's go. It's your boy, the B-League says here. And I'm never going to a shindig with old Thomas or his brother. Oh, shenanigans indeed. But here I am hosting yet another episode of the Back Row Giants podcast for the Back Row Fantasy Show via the Back Row Network on behalf of the Back Row Studios and Lesser Leather, never weathered wetter, weather better. Boom, here we go. There's plenty to talk about this week for our New York Football Giants. It's been a hell of a week with all the draft fallout, week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. And, being removed from all of it, it seems as if everyone is still really happy with the direction of the team, which means there isn't a whole lot to talk about in terms of the prospects that we picked up. So I'm not going to hash over that again. So I'm going to go over a couple of different things this episode, starting with the news and notes surrounding the Giants. And I'm going to start it off talking about a few little bits of good business that we've done. Jabril Peppers and Evan Ingram both getting their fifth-year options picked up from the Big Blue, which is great news. I thought, when Peppers first came over from Cleveland, everyone was skeptical about the moves we were making, but Peppers worked out really, really well. And I could see him being a Giant for a long, long time to come. He fit into what our team was doing well last year, and hopefully with Patrick Graham, they'll figure it out again one more time. So I'm glad that he's been picked up again. And Evan Ingram as well. He's clearly a point of difference when he's out there. He's fantastic. He's a matchup nightmare when he's out there again. It's always that caveat that we bring that in with. So I'm glad that he got his fifth year renewed and not traded to San Fran. Trash. So, it's great. It's good that we've got them for that fifth year coming up. Moving on, the NFL schedule released the NFL released its schedule, and in episode 4, I went over the opponents and how that may have affected our draft and some games I am personally looking forward to. Obviously, we can talk about the division rivals with Dallas, Philly, Washington, all that, but I don't really care for all that. There's plenty of time to talk about all that. I'm sure we'll get Bauer and Bruning on. Not Bruning, the Dallas boys. Well, maybe Bruning, that we do play Cleveland week 15 as well. But, some games I am really looking forward to. Obviously, there's no such thing as a bad Russell Wilson game. He is fantastic. So to see us go to Seattle to see him, I think it's week 13. I mean, that's going to be a highlight of mine for the year because Seattle are great when they're on, and Russell Wilson's a magician. And the week before we actually go, I think we play Cincinnati at home as well. So to see how we stack up against them, because they look a little bit more stacked with how they recruited. And on top of that, I believe it's week 16, we're on the road to Baltimore, and you got the MVP in Lamar Jackson. And they have a very, very young team there. They've picked up Duvernay, Prochet. They've got Marquise Brown there as well. Mark Andrews has proved to be a monster, and Jackson's an animal. They've got J.K. Dobbins there too, Mark Ingram. The list goes on. They are phenomenal with what they've done and built over the past couple of years. So that'll be a fun game too. Also, speaking of things that happened that no one knew about, I guess when the NFL draft happened, no one was really thinking about. I guess Marcus Golden, everyone's spoken about how we need a pass rush or an edge rush, all that sort of stuff. And within the hysteria, most Giants fans probably missed Marcus Golden being slapped with the UFA, unrestricted free agent tag. And that's great for a few reasons. Now, this means that although I think the time has passed, I think it was May 5th, where he can't go anywhere else. So if he doesn't sign for us, I believe we get a compensation pick. So I believe that's how that works now. So that's pretty cool. So he has until, I believe, July 22nd, and that's how that works. So he only gets a little bit of a pay bump. I think it's like 10% on top, so maybe another 52K he gets. So 5.2 mil total, I think, is what he will count against the cap if he ends up signing and staying with us. So that's pretty cool because in 2019, led the team with sacks, 10.5. Tackles velocity led as well with 13. QB hits with 27. So that's a role, obviously, that suited him. That was under James Betcher, who he also had in Arizona. So that could be anything with us. So veteran experience is vital. You look at the guys in our team, I think Leonard Williams might be 25, but everyone else is like 21, 22. McKinney's 20. Everyone is very, very young. Bradbury, I believe, is 26. Martinez, maybe around 25, 26 also. So a guy like Golden, veteran presence, that's a good thing too. So it's still nice to know that we have that in the back pocket. And even if he decides not to sign, we get something out of it with a pick going forward. And if he does, then we got a veteran linebacker that obviously proved for our franchise last year how good he could really be. So I think that's a win-win for us. Bringing this up as the last point, it isn't really a surprise because it gives me a chance to talk about the Giants' depth chart, which looks a little light in a few places. And, we could attack a few veterans yet. Obviously, we don't have a lot of cash to work with. But, there's some cheaper alternatives that are out there that won't break the bank. Now, I understand there's a lot of people that you can't actually physically bring in because of the COVID issue that's going on. But still, it doesn't hurt bringing up a few names and positions and players that, we could still utilize moving forward. Now, I love the Xavier McKinney pick, and I want to see a great partnership with Jabril Peppers for the future. But how about we kick the tires on a guy like Tony Jefferson out of Baltimore? He was released. He had a late season knee injury, but still, I've said it before, it's a young Giants team, and Jefferson's quality and experience could help them learn and grow as professionals too. He was really, really good last year too until he went down, and I think he could be had for top value also. And I could also see a world where a guy, we're talking about middle linebackers. How about this for a name that no one's really talking about, a guy like Donald Payne out of Jacksonville? He should really be given a bit of a chance. You talk about a guy who had an underrated 2019, only 25 years old, and he only had the 5 starts. Now, he finished 5th on their team for combined tackles with 61. Jared Wilson led the team with 79. So he's only 18 short of their team's leader in 11 less games. So that's a great, cheap depth piece that's out there with no one really bringing his name up. And, a lot of other guys who probably could demand a bit more money, like I love Mark Barron. I think he'd be fantastic as a veteran. Again, experience, leadership, all that sort of stuff. But he's probably going to command a bit more cash than what a guy like Donald Payne will as well. So if you can get a guy that's out there that's going to be productive and, be half the cost, why wouldn't you bring a guy like that in? I'd be all about that. It seems like we could use some help up front as well. So when you see a former Giant out there in free agency and Damon Snacks Harrison, he left Detroit. He was let go. I know it didn't seem great when he left the Giants last time, but the big guy produces big time in stuff with the run, which we could use more help with. Mike Daniels is also out there as well. He had an injury-riddled year at Detroit. He didn't really make an impact, but still, he's a quality player. He's also a name that we could look at as well for depth behind Tomlinson, both of which could be cheaper alternatives to, say, someone like an Everson Griffin. That's still out there, would probably still command top dollar at that position. I mean, the top name out there that isn't, being spoken about for us is Jadeveon Clowney because, again, we don't have the cash for that. So there's no point really even bringing that up. But still, there's some guys out there that have got good name brand value that are probably going to be caught on the cheap when everything starts to boil over from preseason getting underway in a few months' time. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, and I've gone over a stack of news and depth chart work and free agents. So how about we turn this a little bit 180 and talk about some fantasy football? I can't wait for fantasy football season to start. That's if you haven't already been getting stuck into some best ball and some dynasty rookie drafts. Now, I'm looking forward to when the season starts to obviously go over, week by week plays with your Giants and pickups and waiver wires and free agency additions and dynasty trades with your Giants, the players that are being involved. But still, I wrapped up a couple of dynasty rookie drafts in the past week, and the Giants, obviously, they didn't take anyone in the first 7 rounds of note for us. So I think I ended up coming into the 5th round and I grabbed up Benjamin Victor in the middle of the late fifth just to grab him. I probably could have waited, but I'm sure no one would have taken him. And obviously in IDP, I was in one for the back row invitational, and McKinney, he went, I think, in the mid third as well. So that was in a 16-team league. So if it's a smaller sized league, then obviously McKinney might be going a little bit earlier than that. And in best ball, just in case, you want to target some of your Giants, it was insane to see some of the places where your Giants guys were going. Now, Saquon Barkley going number 2 overall in ADP behind McCaffrey isn't really, that's not a brain buster, really, when you think about it. But when you see other players going now, Evan Ingram from last year, he's going about 2 rounds later than normal, so he's going in the late 7th. And, as I said, a few years prior, he was going much earlier than that. But one of the bigger questions amongst the pundits was answered in this format. And we talk about the trio of Giants receivers. Darius Slayton is going before Shepard, and he's going before Tate. I was stunned to see that. Now, I understand you're looking for the big boom play over the consistency, because if you're in a 28-team draft, there's plenty of times to find a guy like a Jamison Crowder, in the later rounds maybe, that you can get that might be that slot guy, possession guy that you can find and fill in your roster with. In Slayton, he did produce big weeks for fantasy, but I was shocked to see him go in the 9th round. That was a bit of a shock to me. But speaking of a bit of a shock, Danny Jones, he went before just after that in the 10th round. So it goes Slayton, and then in the 10th, Danny Jones goes. Now, he was going off the board before guys like Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger. I know he had the injury, both of them, but still, the guys who have consistently, for a long period of time, produced fantasy points. I know Tom Brady's not everyone's cup of tea, but still, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's got Mike Evans, Godwin, Howard, Gronk, he's got Rojo and Keyshawn Vaughn now. He's got some PPR chops to him. Guys like that, Brady should have appeal. Jones is going before them. So I was kind of shocked to see Jones go before them in the 10th round. It took me a little bit taken aback. But when you think about it, his points per game, he missed 4 games last year. He would have been the QB 12 based on that, which was a bit of a shock also. He would have actually jumped Brady. I think who finished fantasy QB 12, so that was kind of interesting to see too. Sterling Shepard, he had an ADP rank of 114. He's being overlooked, and he fell. And to the point where Golden Tate, at that point, he's going in like 15th, 16th round, give or take. So that's kind of crazy. I would have thought that someone like Golden Tate, remember, he missed the first 4 games of the year. He still was one of our better producers in that time. And Shepard, he's had those injuries, but still, I was kind of shocked to see how that played out. I would have thought Tate would have gone first. I could see in this format with best ball where Slayton would go before Shepard, but I'm kind of stunned to see Shepard go before Tate in this format. Now I get with best ball that you want more of that sizzle than you do steak, but at times I kind of feel like Tate in the 15th round is a bit of a steal. And that's crazy. So if you are playing best ball, I'm on FFPC at the moment. Obviously, draft went kaput, but I'm looking for a guy like Tate in that 15th round. I think that's going to be a bargain. He's going to have a big year at that point too. Now, before I wrap this one up, I just want to remind you that it's not too late to start your own Back Row podcast. Okay, so you can get in touch with Jeremy Barker from the Back Row Fantasy Show at Back Row or Back Row Fins. You can get a hold of him there. And you don't need any experience. This is, again, 7th or 8th episode for me. A few guys have never done this before as well. We're all growing together, learning together, and that's pretty cool too. So if you're interested in doing that for your team, I believe only 13 teams have been picked up. So you can go for a few more as well. And you can go from there if you reach out to him. Remember, you can always get my articles at thebackrowfantasyshow.com and goingfor2.com. And you can also get this episode on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher every week as well. You can follow me on Twitter at the B League Says or on the show's handle at BackRowGiants too. But until then, stay inside again. Wear gloves, mask, wash your hands. And again, the strangers, stop. Just stop with hugging strangers. Don't go near them. Walk on the other. Just cross the other side of the road. You just don't even look at them. Just cross the other side of the road. And if there's someone on the other side of the road, maybe walk in the middle of the road. Doesn't matter if there's an island or anything. Just stay away from everyone. That's all I can really suggest at this point. And bye for now. Come on, Kill Drive.